Hello, and good evening to all of you out there. It's just Louis and Krim, by the way, so it's not... Oh, and Victor, I forgot Victor. Hey, Krim, we are only doing this for you right now. Thanks a lot for being around and helping booting the tunes. You booted. This means you kicked it out the door, no? I'm always having my a hard time with getting...
Booting means kicking out.
Yeah, no? Perfect. So booting things out is a perfect... we should do this more often. But obviously, if you're booting things out, they do not work as intended, no? Because you wouldn't need to boot them out.
That depends. Sometimes you need to boot them out because you need room for something else.
Yeah, that's true. So, and we needed room for something else because I think there is something going haywire a bit right now in the MSP Waves universe. But since Krim is around, she's going to pull all strings that, and she did already, to have the 11th episode of Utopian Open Source Radio show. Online, live, coming to you live from my office here in Germany, where it's quite cool today, and it was also last week. We have had this amazing heat of 35 degrees a week long, but now we are back to normal working temperatures, so I can wave into the camera easily. You cannot see this here on Discord. We are just having this streamed to, I think, DLive and Twitch, but please correct me if I'm wrong. I think that it's somewhere on DLive and on Twitch. So if you ever wanted to see me, DLive failure. It's not DLive. Oh, Globo is working on it. Perfect. And we are live on Twitch. So if you want to see me live, waving into the microphone. No, I'm not waving into the microphone. I'm waving into the camera. I'm speaking into the microphone and I'm waving into the camera. It's quite complicated, you know.
Multitasking, yeah, I can only imagine.
Yeah, I can only do one thing at a time, and also I need to sit straight so that people don't see that I have a belly. You know, I've grown a belly, and there are a lot of things to do at one time. So I'm trying to do my best. What are we having today? Today it's going to be again a cool show. You can never say that it's going to be cooler and more interesting than the other ones you just did, you know. But this is really, today we are trying something new. And something old, because the old thing is, it happened before that Bucky was not around. And when Bucky is not around, I'm feeling bad, you know, because Bucky is the one, Bucky Dödel that is, he's the one that keeps things together, you know. He's not forgetting anything. He's always reminding us of, I don't know, do this, do that, like me pushing the recording button and so on.
He's the producer, and I think that we should dedicate today's show to his daughter.
Oh yes,
who is hopefully
that's true.
Winning an amazing contest, but we're not going to give away the details. Maybe we're lucky, and he'll tune in before the end of the show and tell us what happened. Yeah,
that would be really great, because his daughter is obviously super talented. So we're looking forward to hear from Bucky and his daughter today. So he's not going to be around for keeping things together. We are going to do our best to be as grown up as we can be. We promised this after last show by blood, sworn by blood, that we try to be grown ups.
We're gonna pretend to be professional adults.
Yeah.
For the next 2 hours or so.
Totally. 1 hour and 56 minutes, I think that is.
I'm pretty sure we can do it. Can we do it?
Yeah. We're going to do it. By the way, I think what we forgot, Ilana, and now it's already, you know what happened? It's already that time of the show, 4 minutes in, and I'm already missing Bucky, because obviously And we forgot to say on the Utopian Discord that the show is starting, or did we? I think we didn't.
We're actually typing it in right now, and by we I mean me.
Yeah, perfect. Thanks a lot. It's already starting. You know, this is this kind of day. I think you all know that how these days normally work out. Nevertheless, one short moment of silence dedicated to Bucky and his daughter.
White silence. That's so sad. No silence.
Oh yeah,
Lots
but
of
I am
clapping and finger
yeah
holding.
for his daughter.
No
but
silence.
I'm super sad that he's not here. You know.
He'll be back. He'll be back.
Yeah.
We know it.
I hope so.
We're gonna miss him, and we're gonna try and well, here you can have Crimson Clad's Undying Love, because she's currently raffling it out in the
really
in the chat. So you should probably write something. Yeah.
For your Undying Love. Oh dear, I'm writing. Oh dear. Oh no, I wrote a T too much. I don't know what that means. Well, you know what I mean, Grim. So, thanks a lot for you already being all around, even without informing you on the Utopian Discord and some other Discords, I think. But now we are settling this, and then the audience will be as cool as it has been all over these 10 episodes that we already did. So what's going to be in this show today? We are going to have an experiment going on, because we are going to take the Utopian Open Source Radio show one step ahead. And with one step ahead, I mean away, not necessarily away, but broaden our view, not just thinking about Steam blockchain and things that are happening on the Steam blockchain, but also expanding the view to other cryptocurrencies, to open source software that is out there. So our first guest today is going to be Crypto Tim. He's going to be around in, I don't know, 15 minutes or so. We already have spoken before, so he's, as you can see, already live on air in the room. He's going to talk to us in 15 minutes or so. And Crypto Tim, he's for sure he can do this. If I'm now speaking, or if I'm now talking about things that I just have read and maybe remembering them
Crypto
wrongly.
Time. It's crypto time.
Oh,
Crypto time.
yeah, thanks a lot. This is the first thing that I'm remembering wrongly. It's crypto time. And I wanted to do professionally, like I have known this for years, Ilana, and it didn't work, you know. This is now making me a bit sad. But as far as I know...
You have me to help out. Don't worry.
Yeah. As far as I know, what happened is that StoneCoin, because CryptoTime is one of the managers of a cryptocurrency named StoneCoin with an own blockchain based upon Dash code. And what has happened, I think that this coin has been or was deprecated, so it was left to abandon by developers. And then, and this is now something that I have read, and for sure Time can correct me later on if I'm now talking shit. And then community took over and said, okay, this coin has still, there are still opportunities, and we can see a lot of potential. And community took over, and who has won? Oh, Luis has won the raffle. Shit, I didn't win Crimson's Glad Ever Never Ending Love Undying One. Bad. Yeah, but don't let us be bogged down by this. Luis, have fun with it. So community took over for the StoneCoin cryptocurrency and blockchain, and said, "Hey, we can do this. We can drive this coin forward. We can do the necessary developments. We can repair the broken chain." So they just did, and came out, I think, in June with a new version. And this is what we are going to talk about in the first half of the show. So in the first, let's say, in 15 minutes, 10 minutes to 15 minutes, we are starting. And then for as long as you have questions to Time, or as Time has something to tell us, and let's see how this is working out. I'm super excited for having him in the show. And in the second half of the show, it's going to be for the gamers out there, for the open source gamers, because then Raycoms is coming along, one of the main project leads and developers of Minecolonies, which is an open source mod for Minecraft. which in the end it extends the original game by bringing on a lot of new buildings, new workers for towns, so you can manage a township. This is quite interesting, and this is also happening a bit in support or with support of Utopian. So Raycoms is doing contributions for Utopian as well in regards to Minecolonies. So let's look. I'm definitely looking forward to that because I do love gaming. I'm an old gamer, so definitely will give this a go. But like I said, raffles is going to happen after the two guests. So once the first raffle is going to happen when we have concluded the interview with Crypto Time, and the second is going to happen after speaking to Raycoms. And yes, sure, I'm playing Minecraft. There is not many games around that I didn't play. Well, some like I Am Bread and Broforce and things like that. Strangely, I never played them. And the Goat Simulator. I never played the Goat Simulator. I always wanted to, but then I didn't, out of whatever reason. That's basically what's going to happen in this show tonight. We are really looking forward. And without Ilana, there is no Utopian Open Source Radio show ever going to happen, I hope at least. Because for sure, the mother of all open source news is around and is going to introduce us to the news and the interesting bits that are happening out there in the world of open source. And as I have read, because you already have published some of your findings in the Utopian Slack, as I have read, there is a lot of things going on. Ilana, what's about open source news?
Actually, I know that we said that we were going to step away from Steam stuff, so I'm just going to say 5 words. SMT release dates been published. That's
yeah, we can discuss about that. I have this already written down because this has been released today. It's super fresh.
Yep. 2 hours ago.
Yeah. And it has sadly been not September. What we have had in mind. There is a Goat Simulator picture, Crimson. Great.
There is a date. Oh, the Goat Simulator. Oh, that looks fun. But yeah, at least there's a date. There's a date for the SMTs, and if you don't understand what SMTs are, then we should probably try and get someone from Steemit to talk about what they are and how they will affect the ecosystem. And we should probably have that before they are released, which is in January. So no worries, we still have time. So that was kind of like the first thing that I really kind of wanted to share.
Yeah, and it's quite important. It's not because we have waited for this. I think they announced it last year around this time, or I don't know, in October last year. Could this be?
Time moves very differently on this blockchain. Everything happens very quickly, but also very slowly at the same time. So I have not a clue. It feels like I've always been on Steam, but then again, I only just came. I'm the whole blockchain is so very new. It's like. It's very hard to define time. So at least we now have a date. We know what's happening and when. So at least there's
So as far as I read, it's January on the testnet. No, development is going to end January somewhere, and then it's going to be on the testnet, and then I think late in March they are going to release it. This is at least the planned date for now.
Well, let's hope that the reason this is taking so long is because they're perfecting it to be like truly revolutionary and bugless, completely bugless, and just so perfect that we will not be able to say anything bad
exactly,
about it.
That we are just, with an open mouth, sitting in front of our monitors and thinking,
I'm going to make a startup now. I'm going to do an ICO on the Steam, which is
exactly. Everybody's going to run away to the authorities and starting things, and this is. I'm quite sure that this is going to happen.
Well,
Ilya, you are out because you already started.
Since we're already talking about dreamers and and dreaming away and so on and so forth. There's a really interesting piece of news that's been around in the past week, is about a collaboration between the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences and the Linux Foundation that have created something called the Academy Software Foundation that is supposed to help get open source software developers more involved in the motion picture and the media industry needs. And so collaborate on technologies for visual effects or create open source animations that you can use in your movie, whatever movie that is, and all sorts of things like that. So I find that very, very interesting.
Oh yeah, it is. It's definitely
I'm
super
really
interesting.
I'm looking forward to seeing what the place of open source is in such a medium. Like how can is it possible to make open source movies? Can movies be made open source? Animations for sure, but can a movie be open source, fully open source? So I think that's a really interesting thing to think about. Another thing that is kind of related, and also I didn't when we usually when we talk about open source, we talk about software and we talk about programs or websites or services. We rarely talk about open source multimedia assets. If it's more open source videos, audio samples, or components that can be used in movies and all sorts of special effects and things like that. And another thing I came across was an interesting article about open source music, which is actually a thing that exists. There are artists who have released their music or their tracks in forms that allow for remixing and re-releasing under whatever license, but this is something that is possible. So I think it's very interesting to see how, last week we talked about open source being adopted as a buzzword by companies like IKEA with their open their open source couch that isn't open source at all. But here, this isn't exactly that.
Have you looked this up again? This open source couch from IKEA?
Of course I did. I'm currently still living in the interior design world. There are apparently design styles. I did not know this. Interior design styles. What the hell? But yeah, so I've been looking into that, and it's interesting because they always you should be able to fork. Raj is adding that we should be able to fork actor to consider a movie as open source. Oh, I can give you a list of actors I would love to fork. Most definitely. But what Raycom's asked, isn't that called royalty-free music? No, open source music is not necessarily royalty-free music. It's when artists release their own created content to be re-edited, to be modified and reused in different ways. Or it can be a specific, what are they called? Loops. Can be a specific loop that you share as open source. And I think that is very, very interesting, especially since we kind of live in the world where we talk about open source software and sometimes even hardware, but rarely do we talk about truly open source media assets. So I think it's really interesting.
Yeah, the problem is that it doesn't always fit, it's for open source software. For software it's quite easy because you talk about algorithms and things like that, but then you need to take music apart in loops, in kind of riffs and kind of things, and then you can maybe reuse it.
But that's the idea. You don't have to take it apart if it's released as open source. And
no. But then you have these components that you can play with, that you can change a bit, so to make it sound different, and you are allowed to, which is the concept is still valid, but how would an artist get paid if it's open source is something that M1 is asking, and this is
same way. I think that it's not that different than software, because like if you look at electronic music specifically, it is a collection of loops and samples. So if I wanted to create an audio track right now, I would go out and I would look for free reusable pieces like that. So and then I can again publish it under a license that allows for the reusing, altering, remixing, and whatever of my musical creation that is also based on other pieces of code from other software, you know? So I think it's very, very interesting.
Yeah, definitely. The concept, to see this concept working in different environments, for sure it has been invented or more or less invented in the software environment, but it can work in a lot of environments. If it's going to work out in movies, for instance, I don't know, because obviously maybe I'm not dreaming enough how this can work out, but in music for sure, somehow. Haven't I read something about?
I think it's very similar with music, with video. For like, I need a special effect for this student.
Yeah,
home
for special
movie
effects,
I'm doing.
I agree.
Yeah, they can be special effects for filters, for I don't know. You can do most things in After Effects and post production anyway. So if you have these assets that you can add in post production, all you need to do is just like have a green screen, and that's it, and just produce a movie with just a green screen and whatever open source assets and special effects and things that you can download, and just create a movie in your living room with a green screen and your phone camera.
Yeah, which is quite cool, isn't it?
I think that creating an open source visual movie and audio asset library could be really cool, because it would give so many people access to materials from which they can create art. Because I can write a script, I can't produce a movie. I think it's really, really it can be very interesting.
Yeah, definitely. But going away from the art world, haven't I read something about Amazon? No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't Amazon. It was Tesla giving away its or thinking about open sourcing their auto software. No.
Everybody's talking about auto software. It's not just Tesla. Tesla are just like one of them. Since one of the main challenges in the automotive industry with smart cars, one of the main challenges is interoperability. So Tesla is going to have some kind of security software that is there in order to make sure that the self-driving of the car is safe, that it basically, it's there to make the passengers safer. And since they want this, they don't want their cars crashed by the competitor cars, they are going and saying, okay, we are going to make this available as an open source, as open source software. And so, in order to get contributions from the community and to and to help it grow. So and they're not the only ones. They're going ahead and planning to publish their the security, specifically the security software, the safety software, while at the same time, and just like, let me dump that link. Wait, where did the link go? I have failed at pasting the link. I lost it. Now another.
Where did you copy the link to?
I don't know. It just vanished. Do you believe that?
Ooh, there are links vanishing.
Oh, here we go. Now another company that has been kind of happening this week in terms of automotive industry open source is actually Amazon, who released on GitHub the source for the software required to integrate Alexa into your car.
Then I had something in mind as well. So I was not completely wrong then.
No, I did not say that yet. I did not say that you were.
No. It's just I said I thought to myself that I mixed things up, but it was both companies talking about auto software somehow.
Yep, like I said, there's going to be a lot of open source software when it comes to the automotive industry, especially autonomous cars, because everybody wants to learn from everybody,
Yeah, true. It's quite new field,
opening
isn't
it
it?
up to the community is the best way to develop such a complex product.
Yeah.
So
true indeed.
Obviously. And Amazon just basically wants to shove Alexa in every hardware that they can find. So here you can integrate it into your car, or I don't know, whatever smart computer you decide to have in your vehicle. Let's see what's next that is not just way too technical. This is kind of weird. What?
Yeah, no. I wanted to have to give you a little bit more space, because then I would get now Crypto Time together with us on the stage. Let's put it like this, and we can talk a bit about news pieces later on, because we have a second news slot coming up in the second half of the show, which is going to be crazy.
And
no?
I'll have news for you. Don't worry.
Yeah. Therefore, I think it's perfect now for you being around and getting Crypto Time to talk with us about StoneCoin. StoneCoin. I looked it up, and there was an N in the Bitcoin Talk forum from January. But this is not the most recent N or announcement that is out there, isn't it, Crypto Time?
No, we've put out our own when we took it over as a community.
So what happened? I tried to rephrase what I have read about StoneCoin in the introduction to the show. Was it correct, or what happened? How did this turn out to happen?
Yeah, that's exactly how it went down. It started with I was just playing around with masternodes and ended up leaving the regular world, my regular job, to go full-time into crypto. And one of the guys on the team here at StoneCoin kept poking me, saying, what are you working on? What are you working on? Why don't you come work on Stone? And that's just how it happened.
So the coin was somehow deprecated, or left to be deprecated, or how should I imagine that?
Yeah, so if anyone has any knowledge about masternode coins, it's pretty common for developers to do some sort of pre-sale and, publish all these documents, or the ANN that you saw, trying to get investors to give them Bitcoin. And after they're done, they just run off with the money and leave the coin laying there. So, a few people got hurt pretty bad, and not me personally. I came in a lot later in the game when I saw that it was a $30 masternode, and it was fun to play around with, Yeah. But now we're taking it really seriously, and we're gonna take it up a big notch right now. So white paper came out, was it today?
Oh yes, you sent it to me today, but I promised to try to have a look into it before we are talking on the show, but I didn't manage. I needed to eat, but we can talk about this now. But let's first try to answer M1's question. Question 1, is this a live show? Yes, it is. We are talking live now. And your second question's a masternode coin. Maybe you can even explain this better than I can. Obviously, you have been into masternode coins quite a lot, Crypto Time.
Yeah, so masternode coin, every cryptocurrency has nodes in some form or another, where the server is able to get its information. But in this case, masternode is one where you stake a certain amount of coins, and then you earn a return on that, some sort of interest on your stake. So for StoneCoin, it's 1,500 coins. You get a VPS, you set it up using our script, and it's automated from there. You'll start getting rewards deposited into your wallet.
Yeah, so basically it's quite easy. It's somehow you're part of the network then with a masternode coin, with a masternode, and you help somehow securing the network or the blockchain. No?
Yeah, so all the payments and transactions and everything go through the masternode. It verifies the code based on the code that it houses and the codes in the wallet, and it just keeps everything in a form of consensus. And there's a lot more to it as well, where you can start voting on budget and projects and super blocks. So all of those in the white paper will be included in phase 3. So we'll be, launching those out to the community and asking for, them to start their own projects using StoneCoin and funding it through StoneCoin.
There are some, to just go on and answering the questions that everyone is going to ask, because in the end, this is we are quite technical here on the other hand side. Like said, not too technical as well. So is it the same as Steam? No, it's basing on a quite similar technique, which is the blockchain, but then the similarities end. Well, there are a few more, but not going too much into detail. Yes, it's a blockchain, and no, it's not the same as Steam. It's a different blockchain. I think it was based on Dash, wasn't it, CryptoTime?
Yeah, originally based on the Dash, I think 11.2 source, something like that. Now we have a more custom source. When we took it over, we redid everything and went through all the code and added a bunch of features that we can use later down the road.
Yeah, I already read about that. You even changed, and to answer your question, Ilana, no, it's not a proof of stake coin. It's a proof of work coin plus the masternode feature. Yeah, no, I think I remember this right.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, that's correct. So it doesn't have it. You can't stake unless you have the 1500 and a masternode. Eventually, depending on how mining changes, this is one of those things that's always in crypto. Everything's always changing, and with mining, we might go away from it and go POS masternode, but that's all for the community to vote down the road if it's beneficial for the coin.
And I already have been Diego, this is super important. I joined, I think, the Stone Discord yesterday, and just checked what you're currently doing, and you're really having these votes quite open in the Discord, so everybody is able to see what's happening. And you even said, like, I don't know, to which algorithms should we switch to? So you're quite even. You're letting the community decide a lot of things, which is cool, by the way.
Yeah, and we plan on taking that up a huge notch. Right now, since we just kind of put our hands in, we're going to drive this thing up to the third phase and start the platform and get everything ready for the community. We want to, work with you guys and Steam with the tip bot, like he's saying here, and it's going to be pretty fun, I think.
Yeah, definitely. So I already have experience a tip bot because somebody tipped me yesterday. I think it was 3 StoneCoins. So I'm not. I think I cannot quit work yet, but maybe sooner or later, But talking about quitting work, you did. So you went full all in basically on crypto coins.
Yeah. So I was mining since last fall, and decided that the day-to-day going to work and doing all that, it just wasn't right for me. I need to do my own thing and create my own value in the community. So that's what I've started doing, and Stone is my first main project that I took on. So hopefully there'll be many more to come.
Yeah, quite a bold move, actually.
Especially in this market, huh?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I wouldn't want to say it, but currently it's a bloodbath. But yeah, well, there has been a few more bloodbaths, and we're still all breathing somehow. So for sure, it's not the end of the world. But currently, the market is not looking too good. Let's put it like this.
Yeah, I think that a lot of it comes from misconceptions of what cryptocurrency is and what it can be used for. Steam is such a great example of what it can be used for. We see the open source and just the upvoting and the Steam power and how it all works. Man, it's amazing. That's why I was really excited to come here and chat with you guys, you know.
Yeah, it is. It is quite amazing. But on the other hand side, having your own coin and being able to drive this together with the community for sure. But being able to drive this is also quite impressive. And I have looked stats up. I think we are talking about 260 or 270 masternodes running right now for StoneCoin, no?
Let me see here. We've got about 320 right now.
Wow. Then my numbers are old, obviously.
Yeah, the best place to check is always on the Explorer. So our Block Explorer is pretty stacked in the features that it has. We've taken some other ones that are open source and added a bunch of things like the CryptoBridge API and the all the masternode stats, the full coin info page. You can pretty much see our market cap and volume, everything there you'd want to know.
Oh yeah, thanks a lot, Vinalbi, or Venalbi. I don't know how to pronounce that, for the link. I just have searched it myself, but you have been much faster than I have been. Okay. So it's 319 currently enabled masternodes. Perfect. And you also see the hash rate that's currently on the network.
Yeah, everything is live on there. One of the things that is not quite correct on there is that it says our total coin supply is 2.4 million. That's actually 500,000 less, or about 460 from the original developer. We locked his pre-mine that he had made. This way, you know, he abandoned the coin. He'd run off with the coins. We made sure that those were secure and created our own along the system.
Yeah, so a masternode, I think it was Hilo asking this, how much US dollars for 1,500 coins? Well, if I follow these market dates that we're having in the upper corner there, it's, I don't know, it's 15 quid, isn't it? $15? Or is my math off?
Right now it shows about you can see on the coin info page there, it's about $20.
Okay.
$21.
So it's quite, for a masternode, it's quite okay. So if you think about, I don't know, Dash masternodes have cost a small house the last time I looked it up in December, but I think they're down in price as well currently, but for sure not on $20. It's quite cheap for a masternode, isn't it?
Yeah, right now our market cap's not quite reflecting because, you know, this white paper needed to come. We don't have our use case completely built yet. We're just kind of in the development stage. So, you know, as you can see right there, market cap is 33,000 USD total. So that's I don't think many of us can survive off of that.
No, most likely not. And Eric is posting questions. I'm going to read it out so that we all know what we're talking about, even if we are not following Discord, because you can listen to this show on Twitch and on DLive, maybe, Globo. I don't know if you have made this working again. Eric says, so you just announced the dev fund will be used to create 175 new masternodes, which means the devs will be collecting the majority of rewards. How is that fair to current masternode holders? Did you say something like that?
Yeah, so in the financial section of the white paper, basically what we've done is we've looked at a lot of models, and one of the hardest things that you see, especially with masternode coins, is how the funding works and how these coins can survive for a long term. And they end up dying within 3 to 6 months of launch. In this case, what we've decided to do is take the post mine, and instead of handing it out to team members in massive chunks is how it's typically done, you'll pay somebody for their work in a percentage of the pre-mine, post-mine. And in this case, instead of doing that and issuing out
Is it my connection, or have you stopped talking to me?
It says push.
I heard you for 1 second. Now you're broadcasting again. Yeah, now you're broadcasting again.
Alrighty. So with the masternodes, we're going to, instead of issuing large chunks of currency to the team themselves, you know, they would pay, a lot of coins will end up paying a salary to their developers and their community managers and all the people. Instead of doing that, we're going to stake the masternodes to where the masternode payments go out to the team that is working on the coin. So for example, every time my screen shuts off on my phone, you'll have 5 people or 10 people, and each one of them, instead of issuing them 10,000 coins each, they get a weekly payout on their masternodes that are staked for them. So what this does is a few really major things. It keeps the postmine locked in the Stone fund. So for big implementations or future expansions or really important things that can have major change, don't just get abandoned again, you know?
Yeah, true. That's basically a problem that most, or that some cryptocurrency are currently facing.
Yeah, and for us, I mean, funding has I personally don't ask anyone to invest. I want them to look at the project, take a look at what we're doing. If they agree, come hang out with us, come get some tips, come tip some other people, help some people out, set up their masternodes, and we're going to try to build some cool stuff. But like I said, you know, funding has been a challenge. You know, how do we keep our team focused on the project without, you know, impacting their lives? So it is what we're working on right now. That's why we built this model, and we're gonna work through it.
Yeah, and this is basically for me. This is going to be like I said, the funding is always a problem if you're in such a stage like StoneCoin has been before you took over, and still you're investing a lot of your time and thoughts in getting this thing forward without knowing for sure that this is going to be a valid invest in the end. On the other hand side, I think is StoneCoin.rocks the current website? Is this correct?
Yeah, that's our main website.
Because I think I checked it out yesterday without having the white paper to read, but this is something that I will for sure do later on. It's not too much an invest if you want to be around playing with a masternode, just like you did, CryptoTime. And then you can hang out in the Stone Discord and see decide where the coin is going to be developed to in the end, which is a good idea. So you're still working on this roadmap. I saw that you have the chain repair and the auto update for the masternodes completed. So what's going to be the next thing?
We're going to start with a masternode hosting platform, and that's going to allow people to set up their masternodes. One thing that we found when we took it over was there's a lot of people that don't understand masternodes, how they work, how to maintain them. So we're going to provide a really easy solution for them to be able to do that. Just hopefully in the end, one click of, oh, hey, I found out about this coin. I see it's only, $20 to get in. I'm going to get one and start it up. And this does a few things for the community. It makes really stable networks for the coin developers, and keeps people kind of on top of the market, and also creates stability in the market itself, because they're going to be staking those nodes versus just people ROI chasing and other things that you see in masternode coins.
The question is, did you already change now the algorithm from, I think it was NeoScript, the proof of work algorithm, to X16R? Or is this going to happen?
We've already done that. That was done. So one of the website hasn't been reflected to the white paper yet. The roadmap is not updated. So it's hard. I was trying to read it while I'm talking to you, and yeah, it's out of date for sure. But if you pull up the roadmap in the new white paper, I think it's page. Let me post that in here. And this way everybody can see. But page 6 has the.
You're now out again? You wanted to talk about page 6?
The chain repair was completed.
Ah, okay, I see it, yeah.
And we upgraded to X16R, and like I said, we put in all the other technological adjustments, the multi-sig capabilities, the voting, super blocks, the capability for tiered masternodes. Because one other thing that we find is a problem is as people start to acquire more investments, it's hard to run, let's just say 20, 30 masternodes when the stake amount is only 1,500. So we're going to put that out to vote to see if people want to increase or allow for tiered masternodes, which would say, okay, instead of 1,500, you can have 3,000, 4,500, something like that. It's better for the Every time my phone screen shuts off, I lose you guys.
Yeah, you shut off. Exactly. But no, don't worry. It's what we are hearing is cool from a quality point of view. You only should prevent your phone from shutting the screen off too often.
Yeah. Okay, so our new roadmap. This will be updated all on the website. We just got this out, so it's
Vinalbi, you promised Diego a masternode. You will not get out of Italy. I don't know how you won't. Let's see how this is working out. On the other hand side, Eric has been talking about massively diluting current masternode holders' value. I'm not going to take sides on that, but since a masternode is currently worth, I don't know, $20, is this really massively diluting current holders' value?
I think what he's talking about, what he means is what happens when more masternodes get on the network is the current masternodes that are there start getting paid less rewards. So this is totally also a very important structure. And what that means is that people will not be getting 300, 400, 10,000% ROI in a month's time. So right now we're 300% ROI masternode. And that's a huge problem for longevity. If people can invest $20 and make 300% on their money in a short amount of time, that's not very healthy for a long-term investment. For any investment, you don't go to the bank and say, hey, I'm going to invest this into my savings account and I expect 300% of my money. Man, they don't even give us 0.1% now.
Well, if they give you 0.1, it's quite cool. I heard some banks are already trying or thinking about the idea of charging people for having something with bank. Yeah.
Wow. So, but I mean, a realistic investment is somewhere in between the 5 to 15% range. And, you look at all the coins that have lasted for a long period of time, let's just say Pivx or even Dash, even though it's gotten hit really hard, it's still, those ROIs are realistic and sustainable for a long period of time. So It's very important for us to get to a spot where we are sustainable. Otherwise, we could be sitting here working for 3 months and one guy with 30, 40 masternodes is getting paid a masternode a day, and he's just dumping it on the market, at whatever price, because he doesn't care, right? And it's just not healthy for the long term. So we've taken a lot of consideration into this, and I told this guy that I would have a chat with him, and we're not going to do something that's going to be detrimental to the community. So,
which makes sense, by the way, because this is obviously very community based, which has a cool appeal to me. And DJ StoneCoin says, let's base the return on invest on the dollar value, not the amount of coin, which in the end might be speaking somehow the truth, because if StoneCoin gets known more publicly, then this for sure will not have a bad influence on the market cap.
Yeah.
Or at least it could.
What? I'm sorry, I couldn't really understand what you said.
Yeah, I just said if it got known more by a broader audience, the StoneCoin and the possibility to have a masternode there, and if even more people are having or investing into StoneCoin or getting a masternode and I don't know, mining StoneCoins, then it gets you have more audience, you have more people buying things, and normally this is not bad for market cap,
Yeah, that would be great. And, that's what we're hoping here with building the platform, giving people somewhere to use it. Vanabi is really interested in doing a swap with Steam, so that right here in the tip bot and people's Discord, we'll be able to tip in Stone and people can turn it into Steam power. And that would be pretty awesome.
This would be awesome. I just read the idea by Diego, the head of Utopian, talking about the integration of Steam on the Stone Discord bot. We are having a hackathon in September, and he was just thinking openly about the idea that this maybe could be one of the topics that we could just target with the hackathon, because this would be really amazing, basically.
Well, we're pretty close already. We've been running our tests, and it's a reality here pretty soon.
So, Diego, no need to hackathon things, because obviously time has already done it, or almost. So
yeah, Tom's been working on it, and we have a test bot. It's been pretty fun. It'll be a good time. Yeah,
we're definitely looking forward to that. And also from a Utopian point of view, or from an open source point of view, if there's something that we can do to help, if you need, I don't know, obviously you have a quite competent development team around, but we, as being a Utopian and being open source supporters, would really like a lot, not just feature you on the radio show, but also to help you in many ways that we can help.
Yeah, and that we are always needing help on the development front. We look like we have it together, but some days it's tough. It's a tough job,
Yeah, but it doesn't look too bad, You're still standing, and everything seems to be running, so it's quite okay.
Yeah.
From the outside, it looks cool.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, we were talking about putting some of the stuff up on Utopian, because we think that, man, it's just really great what's going on in the community and the open source especially.
Yeah, like I said, we are super happy to help. Diego especially, and even if you have now already the hackathon target acquired, there are still a lot of things for sure to go forward, and we're happy to help. So what's the next business step that you're going to do? Because you talked something about use cases that you wanted to bring up. How far are you there yet, or is this not something we can talk about now?
Yeah, I mean, we can talk about it a little bit. The online platform is in development right now. We've been playing around with designs, and we have mocks and structure, and we built the service backend to be able to automatically set up masternodes. So when users log on, it will give them options on how they want to do it, and just really streamlining the process. We don't we don't want it to be hard for someone to participate in any of the coins, right? And we think that some stability should be brought to the network.
Yeah,
and after that, there's a bunch of stages of the whole development phases that we have. We broke it down into 4 components. The first one includes the masternode hosting and the web wallets. Then the second phase will include an exchange and hopefully assets. That's something that we're going to have to really dig into the blockchain for. And then the new code that's being put together on the great teams like Raven and other coins have been doing it as well. But that really entices me as far as giving people the power to create their own assets and then hopefully even be able to tie them into the exchange. Oh man, that's like a dream. But with the exchange, we want to make it so that someone can literally go from having no coins to staking within one click, and we can help people sell their profits to other people that are interested in investing and vice versa.
So completely decentralized market.
Yes, and that's the goal. So
this really sounds awesome. This sounds awesome, actually. Because
and then go ahead.
Go on. No, you go ahead.
Yeah, we just want to make it as easy as possible. Right now, a lot of hard things that you see, it's a mess everywhere you go. There's different information. There's different ways to get it. There's tons of, if you ever set up a masternode, there's a guy, he's our community manager. He ended up going to another coin and mining it. And he's like, yeah, I finally got enough for a masternode. And I just said, well, good luck. It's not as easy as ours. And he, sure enough, 2-3 days later, he's banging his head against the wall saying, hey, man.
Yeah, I think we lost you, but what you wanted to say is that setting masternode up is sometimes a pain in the ass and even more.
Yeah, sorry. I keep
don't worry. Don't worry.
Off the push button.
I understand you pretty well. I understand you pretty well. So cool. And this is something that I will try out the masternode setup for StoneCoin, because he said that you got a script and then it's basically super easy. So what maybe is interesting for all the listeners out there as well is where the fuck? Sorry. No, Ilana, I said the F word. I didn't want to do it.
It wasn't me. It wasn't
crap.
me. This time it wasn't me.
No.
Sorry.
Shame on me.
Yeah. You also said shit before. I didn't want to chime in.
Yeah, I said shit, but I said shit.
You did.
Yeah.
It wasn't me, so I'm good.
No, I
of
said shit. But shit, shit is something that my son even says,
Quantum F-bombs is kind of like
Damn.
our specialty here. But this time it was not me, so
damn. That's really irritating, at least. Well, let's go back to the topic. And it wasn't you. I cannot get my head around it. Okay, so I said it. I'm sorry.
I'm just gonna
I will pay the fine.
I'm just gonna sit here in complete shock and remind you that we are 2 minutes away from our
halfway
middle
mark
of the show. Yeah, halfway.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Raffle. Yeah, we are going to raffle soon. But before, I wanted to ask right now. Okay, I like said, I will try to set up a StoneCoin masternode for sure. So, what are currently the options? Where can I get the 1,500 masternodes StoneCoins from? Is there an exchange where I can go to, or?
Yeah, we're listed on CryptoBridge and Crex24. Both of them you can find right there at the top of the StoneCoin.rocks exchanges.
Okay, up there. Links. Yeah, didn't see that. So, okay, cool. Yeah, well, $20 is something that for sure is around. And then you need to get a VPS, but I also saw on your page that you have had a quiet walkthrough how this can be set up, no?
Yeah, there's some free trials out there. I know DigitalOcean has one, $10, and there is, I think Volter does one, And then there's Google. They also do $300 free. That one's a little bit different to set up. I've been thinking about doing a tutorial for it, but probably don't really have the time right now.
Yeah, no, for sure. You're quite busy in getting the coins forward, but tutorials.
If it's open source, you can create a task request for a tutorial.
For sure it is.
And
that
here we
true.
go, another recommendation by Diego to make a task request. Indeed.
Yeah. This is the official GitHub repo, no? That I just posted in
Yes.
the talk. So this is the official repo. Everything's in there. Paper wallet even. StoneCoin.
Yeah, we just did that a couple days ago. 7 days. It looks like one of our community members, Crawl, he put that together. It's pretty sweet. You can make a paper wallet on your local machine. It's awesome.
Yeah, that's really awesome, and it's quite new actually. Yeah, so it's not too expensive hosting masternodes. You need $20, 1,500 StoneCoins, and then you can go trying out this fantastic script and the setup guide that is listed on the homepage. And then let's see if you can get it working. I will try, and I will let you know. Maybe I'm going to write on Steemit about it. I can't promise if this is going to be this week or next week, because I didn't go all in on the cryptocurrency thingy, so I still got a day-to-day job. But nevertheless,
the cryptocurrency thingy.
What?
I'm sorry. I just had to repeat that.
Cryptocurrency thingy. Yeah. I'm not a native speaker, so I'm trying.
A thingy is something small. A thingy is something small and negligible. So cryptocurrency is not so much a thingy as it is a whole
universe.
thing.
Let's call it a universe or whatever.
You got copyrighted in there already.
True. Yeah, so I didn't go all in, so I have a day-to-day job, and I cannot promise that it's going to be this week, but I will for sure test it. Good question, Eric. Are you going to limit the number of master nodes, thereby creating scarcity? You know what I mean? Value for master node ownership.
So no, the master nodes will already be limited by the total market cap of available coins, around 25 million. So, and that's going to be put out every 2 years. You can look at the coin info in the white paper. It breaks it down a little better, but it won't be limited, manually overridden. That's not something that we're going to do.
Okay. So question answered, I think. Do you have anything to say in the final 1 minute of your interview? It has been a pleasure, by the way, having you, Crypto Time.
I just really appreciate being on the show. I think it's a lot of fun hanging out with you guys, even the random F-bombs and thingies.
Yes, sorry. Maybe you can, as a last deed, bye, Diego. Thanks a lot for being around. As a last idea, maybe you can drop an invite to the StoneCoin Discord, no? Because I think we haven't seen that yet. Or somebody can drop an invite.
One in there.
This would be really cool because, like I said, they have this cool Discord bot where you can get tipped directly with StoneCoins. And on the other hand side, they are doing votings and community polls and everything. So it's not too crowded up there. Well, there are some people in for sure, like, I don't know, 300. So it's not too crowded. You cannot lose yourself too fast. But maybe this is even coming. You don't know. You never know. For sure you want to attract a broader audience to StoneCoin, and this is maybe only the first step.
Yeah, this is actually our first step. So we haven't done too much marketing yet because we didn't have everything laid out, but it's all laid out. We're on our way, and we're looking to deliver some stuff soon.
Ilana, have you heard the M word that is calling for your personal attention.
I'm sorry, what? Someone's calling for my personal attention?
Yeah, he said something about, CryptoTime said something about they haven't done too much marketing things yet, you know?
Yeah. Here's the thing about currently trying to market products that are crypto related. It's literally impossible. Google, Reddit, Facebook, they are all hating on the crypto thingy, as we call it.
There is the crypto thingy again.
Yeah, you started. So they're hating on all the crypto thingies. So even promoting Steam services is difficult, is challenging, because as soon as you have the words cryptocurrency somewhere in your ad or your website, they're going to shut you down. So it is really, really, really challenging. My suggestion, when you have a product, talk to me. And then that can be branded and marketed, because right now you are what Steam was before Steemit, technically.
Yeah.
And what made Steam what it is basically the platforms that were built on top of it. So when you have something resembling a product, talk to me. I'll definitely be here to help.
Definitely, that's right.
Because this is what Ilana is best at, getting word out and dropping quantum F-bombs and quantum marketing bombs and whatever bombs.
You make me sound like a bomber.
No. I would never say that. You know, we have said in the beginning that we wanted to be adults and grown-ups, and at least for 54 minutes.
We almost did it. It wasn't. Not that many F-bombs dropped. We're working on it. So we're pretending to be adults.
I didn't want to say it, but it was me this time. Sorry. So I'm going to write a report how this is going to work out with the StoneCoin masternode for me. Thanks a lot, CryptoTime, for being in the show. Thanks a lot for all the other supporters out there, DJ StoneCoin, Renalby, that helped in dropping links and making things more obvious. Thanks to all the engaged community and audience that we had asking questions. We are definitely looking forward to see the exchange going on, like Hilo is saying in his latest comment, from Steam to Stone and vice versa. With a direct tipping possibility in Discord, this would be amazing. Thanks a lot, CryptoTime, for taking the time to be with us on the show tonight.
Hey, thanks guys for having me.
It was a pleasure. Ilana, my dear, now you're off. I wanted to say you're on. Because
Am I off?
Yeah, you're on with the raffling. The bad thing is, what's happening now is, well, it's a good and a bad thing at the same time. Bucky's not able to do the raffling because he's not around, and he has given to Ilana all the technical details, and even Grim is able to start off raffles. The basic questions that I'm having right now is, did we already choose for some prizes that we are raffling today? Ilana, you got everything ready? Perfect.
Let's pretend I did. I linked them to you. I sent them to you earlier. What we have today is the complete cryptocurrency fundamentals for beginners guide, which sounds like the perfect one to go with right now, because we just talked about the cryptocurrency thingies.
Yeah, you should have had this before, because then you could have easily followed everything that CryptoTime and me have been saying.
Well, I kind of was. I just didn't really have anything to add.
Perfect.
Which happens. That's how
but only on rare occasions, no? Just those occasions when we said that we are going to be totally adult, grown-up thingy people.
Oh, I was. I actually went and Googled what a masternode is in order not to come off as too unknowing. But I did understand. No, I did get the general idea, and that's why I think it's kind of like. That's what I said. It's like Steam before Steemit.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a platform. It's a blockchain.
It's not directly a witness, but it's not too far off from being a witness. A witness and a masternode is quite close. It's not the same thing.
Yeah. So they have a blockchain without a product. As soon as there's a product, there's stuff to do with it. And
totally.
What makes for a product is a good development team. So
totally. I can only agree.
So, due to lack of Bucky, let me see if I can run the raffle bot.
Let's talk once again about shortly. It's a Udemy course, no? The complete cryptocurrency fundamentals for beginners guide. And we are raffling this away now. Once Ilana
anyone who's currently in the chat. As soon as I send this message, there's going to be like a counter, I think 2 minutes, where any of you will need to write something, and let's think of something interesting to write. Well, I launched a coin. Well, not really a coin, a BitShares asset called Cuddles. It's a cuddle because you can then cuddle people and send them hugs over the internet. So I am the proud owner of Cuddles. Yes. So my question is, yes, if you want to buy some Cuddles, you can go on BitShares and buy some Cuddles, and then send them to whoever you love.
Oh, cool. Luis, you need to do that with Krim. She has given you your her everlasting love, you know? This is the perfect... Yeah, well, sorry.
I actually had an airdrop. I had an airdrop when I initially went on and did this because it was interesting and it was fun. So I had an airdrop, and anyone who wanted got like I think either 100 or 1,000 Cuddles until I ran out of everything
Tenza, how can you be so cruel? It's Cuddles.
Tenza, there's only one thing that I can say. Unless you're here, right here next to me, you're gonna get an IOU in the form of a digital asset on BitShares, because that's all I think Raycoms, I think you got some of my Cuddles back in the day. Yeah. So so that's my question. If you are going to create your own token just for fun, to do nothing with and just, be silly about it, what would you call that token? Let's see. Yeah, it worked. We've got a raffle. Right in the next 2 minutes, the name of your just for fun token that you would create or not create.
I think that's too obvious, Tenza, isn't it? Well, maybe it's the thing that it is too obvious, so people think that it's not...
Thingy coin, definitely.
Oh, yeah. Thingy coin. I'm sorry.
But with a name like Scam Coin, there's only pretty much one thing you can do with it, and that's scam people. So what's the point?
No, you can try to double trick people, because it's a scam coin. It's not a scam coin. You know what I mean? It's this double kind of psychology.
So it wouldn't be a scam, but it would be called scam.
I don't know. The coin.
Cthulhu coin.
Yeah,
yes,
that's cool.
I would invest in that. I would invest in Cthulhu coin. Let's awaken the ancient. Let's do that.
Yeah. Not a bad thing, actually. But I would invest in that, Tenza, just for the sakes, just for the fun of it.
Fork me coin. Interesting.
Krim is not taking part in the raffle. This means that someone else can win, which is a cool thing.
That means the bot will be broken and not work.
Yeah, true. Because normally it's just, it's not working when Crimson Clad is not entering the raffle.
Yeah, I know. I was actually thinking of calling it Pink Coin, but if you invest in Cthulhu Coin, awaken me. Yes, definitely. Cthulhu Coin. I thought of calling it Pink Coin, but for some reason, I thought of either breast cancer awareness or porn. So I decided to leave that name to those industries, and just go with Cuddles because... I can't hug all the people that I want.
It's 2 minutes. 2 minutes. It's almost done. Resource credit coin. All owners have to wear pink. Tenza coin. Yeah, this sounds super legit. Oh, and Favcow has won the raffle initiated. So, I think Bucky said that you should get into contact with Bucky once he's back. Wasn't this what he was saying?
Yes, he did. Message Bucky, and he'll get back to you when he returns. I'm just trying to find what he wrote. Favcow, what did you write?
Don't know.
I can't.
Some coin. He wrote some coin.
That's just so random.
Yeah, you could have already written random coin. Or a
That's
Roin.
true. Another crypto coin that can't scale coin. Well, yeah, we've got some coin, and Favcow, you're the winner.
Woohoo!
And you're gonna have to tell us after you talk to Bucky and get your prize and do that course. You're gonna have to give us a total TLDR of the fundamentals of cryptocurrency for those of us.
Yeah, maybe you can use this as or you can use some coin as an example for how the fundamentals of cryptocurrency is working. You know, just spin this idea further on in your head so that it manifests itself into the real world. Tensor coin. I just wanted to say Tensor sounds super legit to me. I would most likely invest into this as well.
Isn't there a coin called Tensor? Or am I like I was?
Tether? There is a coin.
No, Tensor. Isn't there a
Tensor? I don't know.
There should be. There should be.
Is it?
It's like sounds like a coin name.
Wait. Thing that we can check directly. Oh yeah. For sure there is.
There's a Tensor coin.
I knew it. Is that you, Tensor? Or do you don't want to talk about it?
Nah, he doesn't. Nah, he doesn't want us to know how rich he is. That wouldn't be fair.
Yeah, most likely not, because we still need to work, you know, and you don't. A blockchain-based protocol for running artificial intelligence research on a distributed network. Subscribe to learn more. We will email you as soon as we have something to share. Yeah, so most likely that's not done yet, because
like many blockchain projects that are not done yet.
Strangely, yeah, they are not done yet. So this is basically one page in the internet, but there is a GitHub, so we could check it out. It's obviously open source. Maybe we can. Oh no, it's yeah, there is a GitHub, but it's completely empty. 0 repositories, 0 people, and 0 projects. Ta-dam. Okay.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, it is.
Yep, there are so many of those. Even like I can tell you for a fact that Cuddle Coin does not have a white paper. Well, not really. It does not have a white paper, but it doesn't need a white paper. Maybe it needs a pink paper, and it does exactly nothing. So I'm not even saying, to people like, wait for it to have some meaning. No, it means exactly nothing, and it's worth exactly nothing. Don't give it value.
Except the cuddle,
Yeah. It's an IOU. It's an IOU. I'm sending you a hug. I owe you one. I owe you a cuddle.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, and Raycom, you're totally right. I have written a lot of researches and papers about, and I even had some published here on the Steam blockchain about cryptocurrencies, different cryptocurrencies. So I have digged through a lot of white papers already, and it's really they are very different in quality and content. So there are some good out there, but most of them are, let's say, if you don't know what they're talking about, they can get some sand into your eyes, so you're distracted from the things that they didn't write. But yeah, it's not. Most of them are not written in really a professional style. So I'm really looking forward to read the one of Crypto Time, and I think that this is going to be just it's not going to be perfect because it doesn't need to be. But I'm really looking forward to reading it and setting up my StoneCoin masternode. So what do we have in the second half of the show? For sure, we have had our second guest, to whom I have just been talking, but not here directly live on air, but just in the chat. It's going to be Raycoms. He's going to talk about Minecolonies, a game. This is an extension, a mod for Minecraft. So and it brings on additional features, just like mods used to do. And it's open source, and it has been developed, at least supported, by us from Utopian, at least with upvotes and with readings on the contributions that Raycoms did. And on the other hand side, Raycoms is also a part, I think, now my knowledge is a bit thin maybe, is a part of Build Team, maybe, but there is a small question mark behind that.
Yes. far as I remember, he is part of the build team. I helped out the build team a little bit before I was sucked in by Utopian.
I know.
And became all about the Utopians. So as far as I remember, Raycoms was and is a part of the build team unless something has changed.
So this is something about which we could talk as well, but currently what we're going to do now is something that I don't like to do because it's a live show, and I'm going to put Raycoms directly to me live in the on-air platform channel, which could mean if his microphone is not on level, that this is going to be a bit of a noise, but I hope that this is not happening. Hey Raycoms, how are you doing?
Hi there, can you hear me?
Oh yes, we can. I'm just going to increase the volume for you personally a bit because you were, but don't do anything. I will do everything for you.
Okay, nice.
At least I will try.
We're not Bucky. We can't
No.
be Bucky, but we can try.
That's the super bad thing, not being Bucky. But we have to live with it, you know? Not everybody can be Bucky. So, Raycoms, can you talk to me again just to see how the level is?
Hey, you. Test.
For me, it's quite silent. Can you maybe, and I have you already on 150%, can you maybe do something on your end as well?
Okay, let me check.
It's
Is it
not
better
too...
now?
Oh, yes, it is.
Okay, nice.
So
Okay,
maybe...
I got my audio a bit lower for the voice, so can record my videos for Minecolonies without that much disturbance.
Yeah, this is working fine. So, how you doing? All good?
Yeah, I'm doing nice. I even had luck because I usually would have had a meeting today, but my professor postponed it, so I had time to fix my microphone, which wasn't working on Discord.
Perfect, but it does now, so perfect.
Yeah,
just in time.
luckily.
That's a very familiar problem because mine just died and I had to open part of it and try and fix it. It worked, by the way, but so now I have a headset again.
Hey, but you're sounding, for this that you did fix your own microphone just prior to the show, you're sounding pretty cool, Ilana. Well, you always sound cool, but, you know.
Well, and I think that, and Raycom sounds great as well, so
Yeah,
yay,
yeah, he
technical
does.
skills.
Yay. So, you're still at university, I deduct from your saying.
Yeah, I'm doing currently my PhD in computer science.
A PhD in computer science. That's quite impressive. I didn't do it. I just have... I don't even have a master. I have something that was Germany specific, and it's not comparable to anything like a diploma. So everybody will just laugh at me because I'm
No,
old.
it's yeah, but it's equal to a master, right?
Yeah, it is.
At least in Germany.
At least in Germany. The rest of the world, like Ilana, will just laugh at me and say, what kind of crappy education you got?
I have a high school degree
Oh, well.
and some university.
I don't
I
even
just
know
kinda-
what a high school
I was
is.
too busy working. I was too busy working. I graduated school, I started university, and then like life happened.
Oh, yeah, it does. Strangely, it does. But yeah,
And
we didn't
then
want about...
I learned learned all I wanted, and then I just kind of went and worked and learned all I needed to know while doing, instead of sitting in a classroom and trying not to fall asleep.
Which is making sense. Well,
Yeah,
not necessarily, but on the other hand side, a bit basic education can never harm, you know? But you have that. I didn't want to say that you
admire-
don't have this. My goodness. Didn't want to say that.
I admire people who are academics, people who fit in the academic lifestyle and the academic way of thought. I am not one of those people. My husband is. I know many people who are, and I envy them because I'm not like that. I come in, I learn what I need to, what interests me specifically. Everything else I throw out and just leave. So I'm not an academic. I
So,
was
but
not built
Raycoms
for
is
academia.
obviously, so else we will never get a PhD if you are not an academic. Well,
Exactly. So I admire you, Raycoms. I already
yeah,
admire
me too.
that.
Because I didn't have the the flesh at my butt to sit as long as needed to go for a PhD. So you already done, or you're in the middle of it?
Yeah, I actually started a bit less than a year ago, so I'm currently figuring out what I'm going to research exactly, and taking a few classes.
Interesting. And meanwhile, while you are bored out taking classes and thinking about your PhD, you are developing cool things like Minecolonies.
Yeah, exactly.
So how did it all start? What is Minecolonies about? I just tried to grab the meaning of it in 1-2 sentences before, but you can for sure do this much better than I.
Yeah, so Minecolonies has been developed for a few years already. Like, I think 6 years ago, there was a guy who started Minecolonies. He even wrote it like Minecolonies, like this. And it was a 1.2.5 mod of Minecraft, and it was quite simple, but it was pretty buggy. But I started playing Minecraft around that time, so I was pretty hyped. Yeah, mod like Age of Empires, but within Minecraft, so first person Age of Empires more or less. So I started playing it, but I pretty soon found out that it wasn't supported anymore by the mod owner, so he kind of abandoned the project. So I spent a lot of time on forums searching for anything, and I think after around half a year I found a project which was working on continuing Minecolonies. So I joined in. It was quite at the end of my bachelor.
May I ask one question in the meantime? Because is this the idea, or was this the idea behind Minecolonies, to have some kind of Age of Empires in Minecraft?
Yeah, actually, the main idea was, I think, to have Anno within Minecraft.
Ah, okay.
But we're currently expanding on it, so we want like a mixture between Anno and End of Age of Empires. We want that the complete economic side of Anno, but we also want the war side of Age of Empires, so to make it more interesting.
Sounds interesting, actually. So how far have you got? How far are you currently?
So then I'm working on this project for 5 years now, so we developed a lot of stuff. We actually threw away all of the old code and rewrote it completely because the code was just terrible. And since then we got a lot of things set up, so we got permission systems. I think we got like 13 different workers which do different things for you. Like we have quite basically things like miner, lumberjack, farm, fisherman, different herders for different animals.
Okay, the resemblance to Age of Empires and Anno for sure are visible.
Yeah, and then we have classical guards, archer and knights, so melee and range. Combat. And then we have something which is quite interesting, which we call the request system. So something that makes Minecolonies quite unique is that it has a system underlying it which handles requests. Like for example, there's a worker which is the builder, which builds things players want him to build, like houses or custom things, whatever. And if he needs a certain block, he creates a request which will be resolved by the request system, and another worker will bring it to him, whatever it is what he needs. So we're currently building on top of that, which will be one of our last building stones, which will be that if he needs, for example, a knight needs a sword, so he will request a sword, and if there is no sword in a warehouse, for example, the request will go to a blacksmith, and he will notice, no, he needs iron, so he will request iron, which will go to the warehouse, and the warehouse will notice it has no iron, but it has iron ore, so it will send the iron ore to the smelter would smelt it, and it will go...
So like building up a workflow from the need to what has to be done.
Exactly, yeah. So that's what we're currently at, but it's a lot of complex things which have to fit in together, and all of that in a single thread, because Minecraft works on one thread basically.
Yeah, well, that sounds quite interesting actually. And this reverse work flow build up that you have just been talking about, this is quite interesting actually, because this is automatizing parts of the game so that you have more time thinking about strategic decisions, whatever, so you don't need to care about the small things. That's cool.
Less repetitive actions. I think it's totally awesome. Sorry for jumping in, but one of the things that I've wanted to ask, and it's a bit of a selfish question, Minecolonies is one of the projects of the Utopian whitelist for visibility and for bug hunting. And as the community manager for visibility, I'm curious about what your needs are in terms of marketing and promotion. And I'm asking this not just because, of your project personally, but because I think this is an opportunity for me to learn what projects need at your stage, because you've been developing for how long?
Yeah, I myself have been developing for 5 years now. The whole project is, I think it's 6 years now.
So it's a really mature and ready to go project. So at this point you probably want to get more users. How do you currently do that? How do you currently get more people to install this mod?
So that's something which is a bit complex in Minecraft. So one of the main sources is YouTube. So people see famous YouTubers playing our mod, and they come to our Discord and I saw this mod, I want to play it. So that's a quite common
influencer marketing. It's called influencer marketing, and that's just basically either you go out and you reach to, it's a form of marketing. You either reach out to such influencers, who are well-known gamers on YouTube, or ones that have their own, on Twitch or whatever. You reach out to them and tell them, okay, install this. This is a really cool mod. Or you just sit around and hope to get lucky, which is perhaps what you guys have been doing, perhaps a combination of the two. That is definitely one good way to get users for an app like yours. What else have you been doing?
Yeah, so we've been trying to contact a lot of YouTubers, but it's actually quite difficult to get a grasp of the bigger ones. So we've usually been lucky of one of you getting hands on Minecolonies. For example, there is the Yockcast. I don't know if you know, they do a lot of games and they're currently playing Minecolonies as well. So they have 2 million followers on YouTube. So they're helping to spread it at the moment quite nicely as well.
That's good to know. That's really cool. So what's working for you right now is mostly influencer marketing, which is not easy to do with open source, but it is one of the more effective ways. So good on you. I'm really happy to hear that.
And the second thing, which is usually one of the most important things, and I think what also got us the most downloads in the last year. So we just reached 3 million downloads yesterday, and we got 2 million of these in the last year, or less than a year. We had 1 million
crazy.
In last September. So
amazing, really amazing.
A lot of this comes when you update at the right time. So Minecraft updates every year or every year and a bit a new version. And when they update a version, you have to be fast. You're going to port your mod to the next Minecraft version, and your mod is going to be on the first page of the mod packs, etc. All mod packs are going to add you, because all mod packs want to have as many popular mods as possible in them. So if you are the early bird porting a Minecraft mod, you're going to get 10 times more downloads easily.
So it's its own ecosystem, really. It's its own. Okay, that's interesting.
At the moment, there's basically only one source for downloads, which is, it's now the Twitch launcher. It's a Minecraft mod pack launcher, which allows you to easily build mod packs and install mods. So previously it was really difficult to install a mod. You had to know how to open Java chars and put the things in there and throw things around and meddle with IDs and these kinds of things. So only more technical people played mods. And then a few sites started hosting mod packs, which allowed you to just one-click install 200 mods. And at the moment there's the Twitch launcher, which is the biggest platform for all. And if your mod is on the first pages there, you're going to get very popular. So that's why porting early is so important, because then you're going to get on the early pages and you're going to get very popular very fast.
Yeah, obviously that's quite a cool method to be listed. If you are one of the first ones that is on the new version, then the others are just simply not listed and you are up. Cool. Not a bad idea, actually. Didn't think about that prior, actually.
So, but something we also really always need are really developers, because, as in all open source projects, it's really difficult to find developers. So, like, we had easily 60, 70 developers in the 4 or 5 years, but they stayed for a month, stayed for 2 weeks, stayed for 3 weeks, and quite often gave me more work than they actually did. So that's quite difficult. So having good developers or decent Java developers.
So where do you find them, and how do you retain them?
So they usually find the best developers usually find us. So
yeah, out of their own motivation. No, this is the best.
Yeah, so like they find our mod, enjoy it, and like think, yeah, this mod is neat, but this part of the mod I think I would improve. And then they come to us and they're like, I would like to improve this, and we say, yeah, go for it. Like, we're really open for suggestions. We're really open for like, I want to implement this worker, or I want to streamline this process. Yeah, go for it. We're quite open with this as well.
Do you also have help wanted issue threads, however they're called?
Yeah, we open it here and there. Like, I think once every few months we open a Reddit post. I think I already wrote one Utopian task request for developers as well for Minecolonies, but I think it has been like 6 months or something like that I did that.
Okay, well, you might want to consider doing that again if you feel like it. It's always an option. But
yeah,
that does require knowing to a degree what it is you're looking for, what it is you want. So
exactly,
that's the hard part. That's the hard part, figuring out what information you need to give the other person so they can do what it is you need.
Yeah. So we're at the moment at a quite critical phase, because we're rewriting a few of our back-end libraries. So for example, working with Minecraft is really difficult because a lot of their things were just not made in a sense that someone else should work with it. So for example, their GUI libraries, it's not simply building GUIs. You have to kind of write Java code to define the positions and these kinds of things, which is just really annoying. So we wrote our own GUI library where you can define JSONs or XML. So once we got this really finished, at the moment at the end of it, we can really write some really specific task requests for Utopian, because then we're going to have a lot of tasks for rewriting our GUIs with the new system, which will allow us to be way more flexible with our GUIs.
Well, we're definitely looking forward to that, because sadly I cannot help you, because as I said already in the chat, Java and me are no friends. But I think that there is for sure Java developers are out there in the community of Utopian that can be, or that are willing to help on this as well.
if any of the UI is written content and it's about copywriting, then even little I can help. Because I think that then it's
Yeah, I just wanted to say that even Hilo, as being one of the guys that has reviewed Raycom's code, is giving you commendation for the quality of the mine code of the code of the Minecolonies. So yeah, quite cool. Obviously, you absolutely know what you're doing.
Yeah, I have to say, actually, I learned most of the things I know of coding with Minecolonies as well. So we had a few very experienced developers. Like we had a developer who doesn't want to show his identity because he is a lead developer in a lot of biggest projects in the game industry. So I learned a lot of things from him, and we got a lot of other people which are really dedicated coders, which got me into a lot of code styles, and best practices and these kinds of things. So
yeah,
I gave Minecolonies.
This is what I'm always saying. You don't need to be perfect developer to start helping open source or to start developing for open source projects.
Exactly.
If you know your way around, or if you know your way in Java, but you're not perfect, for sure these projects can make you perfect, or can make you better, can make you more experienced in developing, in working together with other people, because this is sometimes tricky as well. So if there's any one of you out there not having the guts to say, okay, I would want to, but just do it. It's rewarding, and you can learn, and you can be part of something.
Speaking of being a part of something and learning, and I would like to personally invite Raycoms to our international mini hackathon that will be taking place next month. Diego posted the announcement for it just while I was semi here, but I think that anyone can join, really. The idea is that you make up teams and you pick things that you want to hack, and this is, I think, a chance not only for people who are seasoned developers, but also for people who want to learn from others in their team.
Yeah, definitely.
So and that kind of brings me to a question, Raycoms, do you contribute to any other projects, or are you just mainly focused on Minecolonies?
Yeah, so within Minecolonies, we recently founded a team we called Let's Dev Together, which is the aim is to bring developers together and to be really helpful, because we noticed there are a lot of open source projects out there, and when you go there, the moment someone notices that you don't know what you're doing, people will just boot you out. Or a lot of developers are really difficult to deal with sometimes.
Yeah, that's true.
And as developer, I'm saying this, right? So, for example,
one of my significant others is an ERP app developer, and the other one is a Java developer. So I'm gonna go ahead and say, yep.
Yeah, complicated people. But yeah, we would really like to have you around in the hackathon. Really. So what is LDP? Let's Dev Together. LDT. What are you only doing Minecolonies right now, or what is the next project that you are developing together?
So LDT at the moment has a few projects. So one of them is Minecolonies, our biggest project. But we got another one which is Structurize, which is a Minecraft library, and as well a mod which allows you to edit the world. Like you can copy anything in the world and paste it, or you can generate spheres. And I even made an Utopian post about it these days as well. You can generate three-dimensional sinus curves into the world and these kinds of things. Then we have in our project as well something that's called, we recently developed animatrix. So Minecraft at the moment is quite limited in animation. And if you want to use animation, you have to use either Java models, which is extremely difficult to model because you have to use specific Minecraft-related tools and not just Blender. So we developed something which is called Animatrix, or one of our developers developed it, which allows you to kind of render any kind of animation into Minecraft. So you can render a perfectly good-looking animation, which doesn't have to be blocky within Minecraft as well. So we are going to use this in Minecolonies to make our villagers look a bit better and to make them a bit smoother as well in their animations, for example. And
Sounds very cool.
Then we have Chat Chain, which is a project which aims at integrating different chats. So at the moment we're integrating Minecraft and Discord with it, so you can connect several Minecraft servers and one Discord channel or several Discord channels with it. But in the end, the idea is to be able to have it as a black box, so you can integrate any kind of chat. So you want to have one chat where Slack, Telegram, and the Minecraft server is together, you can use this. So that's the end idea we have for it.
Cool. That really sounds amazing. And definitely I would wish you, well, on the one hand side, I would like to have you around during the hackathon. Ilana just posted the announcement that Ilya did, I think, or it was SteamStem. No, it was SteamStem.
It was published by SteamStem and written by Diego and myself.
Yeah, so it's exactly it's a cooperation of SteamStem and Utopian, and everyone who wants to be part of it. It's going to be live on and off, online and on location in Italy, and online throughout the world. We're going to do some cool stuff. I'm not trying to develop in Java, I promise. But let's see what options there are. I hope there is something that I know. Well, if not, I'm just sitting around asking dumb questions, which is something that I can do very good.
Learning. It's called learning.
Yeah. you wait until you hear my questions. This is not learning then.
You've heard mine. Come on, you've heard mine.
Yeah, that's true. So yeah, we would really like to have you around. On the other hand side, we would also like to see you. Well, you already talked about the task requests flowing in after the rewrite of the libraries that you have just mentioned, and for sure we'd really like to see that, and we'd really like to see Minecolonies crack the, I don't know, 10 million download numbers or something like that, which would be really, really amazing. Oh, really? It would be amazing, because
yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So one last question: the install guide is for sure on the website, no?
Yeah. We have a Wikipedia which we're going to update. I think in 2-3 days from now. We got a finished new one already, but the old Wikipedia also has the installation guide of the modification, and our GitHub repository also has the guide on how to set it up when someone is interested in contributing. Perfect.
Then, is there anything you want to add before we go to our next raffle?
I think that's all as well.
Thanks a lot, Raycoms, for being around and informing us about Minecolonies and the initiative Let's Dev Together. Is there some place people can apply to become team members of Let's Dev Together? Or is this closed shop?
No,
give us links. Give us links.
Yeah, give us links.
Chat.
Give us links.
Oh, let me get you the link. So here, no limit.
While Raycoms is linking us or is throwing links at us, I would like to give now the hand or the talking microphone thingy Oh, I'm still talking about thingies. The
What's
microphone.
with the thingies today?
Don't know. Really, it was a strange day today. But I would like to go to give the microphone to you now, talking about the next raffle, and the prize is going to be, I don't know, but you for sure do know.
It's actually a prize that I would have loved to get, honestly, like maybe 15 years ago. Which saved me a lot of hard work. It's Udemy course on how to write the best online content. So if you want to be the best blogger on the Steam blockchain or the next ruler of medium.com, this is your chance. Now, what do you think would be an interesting question to our audience for this raffle? Yeah, right?
Sorry, I'm still trying to fix things that I forgot. Because Hilo is completely right. I forgot any questions that was asked directly to Raycoms when we were still talking. And Hilo was asking about, are there any economics in Minecolonies?
So at the moment we don't have any economics, but it's definitely planned. So we're planning on a market system. So you can basically have a market within your colony, and you're going to, for example, on the multiplayer server, you have a market, and there are other colonies with markets. So you can send marketers of your colony to other colonies to have an exchange between them, for example. So that's something that's definitely planned, but we didn't do it yet because we're waiting for the GUI rewrite, because this will make it a lot easier to create interfaces needed for these exchanges.
And now he's asking the consequent question, if Steam or SBT could be its currency. Yeah, Hilo, the idea is not that bad, actually. It's quite cool. But I would like to point this to the after-show talks in the MSP Waves audience chat, because now we need to do a raffle. And we are only 9 minutes to go until we are hitting the time wall of death where this show is going to end. So, my dear Texlot, Ilana.
That is me.
Go for the raffle.
So, if you were building a mod for your favorite game, what game would it be and what would the mod be? I just love asking the really complicated questions. And we are raffling away a Udemy course on how to write the best online content. And there she goes. You have 2 minutes to think up of what mod you'd want to create for what game, and type it in, and let's make it interesting.
Oh, that's complicated. First, I need to think of a game.
Easy
Maybe.
button for life. Huh. Yeah, that's just cheating. Yeah, Raycom. So yeah, no, of course. Yeah, that's.
Yeah, impressive. I would do something, but I don't know which mod. I know the game, but I don't know the mod. Don't know how I should mod that.
Nah, it's a really challenging one. I'm good at this.
Yeah, you are. But we want people to write things, you know. Double dragons.
Double dragons. More cowbell and more dragons. That's always a good one. Which one? What would I mod? I would probably completely rewrite, even after the I'm still hurt by Mass Effect. I never got over it. I never got over the Mass Effect ending, and even though they tried to fix it, it was still horrid. And I would want something to be done to mod that, to completely change it.
To a very unicorn and pinky experience.
No, something that means, like, you know, makes more sense than just like arbitrary pick 1 out of 3 and like yada yada. But yeah.
Oh crap! I'm doing shit. I'm doing bad things.
Yes, of course you are. You are mucking things up.
Thanks a lot. Whoever did that was cool. And I didn't want to take part in the raffle anyhow because I don't want to win.
Okay,
it would look not good if
it's counting.
Yeah, it's counting now. The moment of truth is coming along. And Amos is the winner. It's impressive.
Oh, this is so wonderful. Amos is going to
I
write
think he
how
won.
to write the best posts. That's it. He is going to be God. He's going to be
do you
the
know
writer of
with
code
what
and the
he
writer
won?
of content.
Most likely he won with a face, with a smiley, with a thinking smiley. You know what I mean?
He still deserves it.
Yeah, definitely.
I think that just proves the point.
Exactly.
How to
This
write,
is definitely proving
how
the
to
point.
write the best online content. Made a smiley, got the course, makes perfect sense.
Do you know how intelligent this bot must be that Victor has written for us? This is impressive.
Even frightening.
There were it's frightening in a way, because do you remember how the last raffle, or the second last raffle went out for this? There was one special raffle that went really crazy, because exactly that happened. What just happened? Amos, with his smile, got the Udemy course for writing the best online comment. Amos, I'm really looking forward to read more of you. From you.
I'm going to start. Don't forget to contact Bucky, who will send you the coupon link and everything when he gets back. And yes, we are going to bug you all the time about how to pronounce your name correctly.
Amos.
It's Amos.
Amos.
Okay, it's either Amos.
Amore.
In Hebrew, it's Amos.
Amos. If I say it in Bavarian, it means that I have a big beer. You know?
Amos. Yeah, that's what I say. Amos.
Amos. Yeah, but I like a big beer better than, Amos.
We're gonna. Well, on anus, no tensor, no.
Oh no!
I think that this Friday on the weekly Utopian call, I think that we're going to all practice saying Amos, or one of those. Oh no!
Even Diego managed.
If Diego managed it, I'm gonna just have to practice until it works. Yeah, that's what's going to happen. We have 4 minutes left.
Totally, and we are totally not up for the thing that we always wanted to do for the community interaction and audience guest segment 8, which is in my schedule for the 11th episode, like it is for the last episodes, 10 to 20 minutes, and we are never getting there. Maybe.
Remember how we tried to have an hour-long show in the beginning?
Oh yeah, we had 1 or 2 even.
We've repressed.
Yeah, and now, like I said, we have this 10 to 20 minutes segment 8 that should start now and is finished at 22:00 my time, which is 8 p.m. UTC time. Which obviously cannot fit because 3 minutes and 20 minutes are not the same.
We never ever let it. We also skipped my second news segment.
Yeah, totally, because we do like to talk too much. On the other hand side, guys, for next time, really, we are trying to get the audience interaction segment up and running again, which means if you ever wanted to be live on air with us talking about, I don't know, cryptocurrencies, open source news, your own open source project, whatever, or just praising Ilana for her pink hair and her overall genius, you are super invited to come to us live next show. I will promise to try to fit it in there. You just have to raise your hand during the show, and then Bucky will sound check you, and you can be in those 10 to 20 minutes that are now already over, talking with us live on air next show on next Wednesday. I even knew what guests we are going to have next Wednesday, but I forgot. I know that Decentraland are sooner or later coming up because we already had to talk with them. But I don't know if this is going to be next week. And now Bucky is desperately missed because he would know. Yeah, so thanks a lot for all the audience out there listening directly to us. Thanks a lot for my blazing guests that I had coming, Crypto Time and Ray Comes. It was a a fantastic show. We had a lot of fun talking to you, and it was very interesting, to say the least. Thanks a lot for all the audience out there making this show this cool ping pong show that it really is, because we are all doing this only for you and not for us. Thanks, Ilana. Thanks, Bucky, even though you're not there. And see you next Wednesday at 6 p.m. UTC. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.